Jettatura is brutally retro. And I'm just going to list out some of the things, like the non-starters that's going to just run people away immediately. There is no auto map in this, or at least it's not intended. You can actually put it in as a cheat code, use a command line. So you have to draw the maps out with graph paper, and I'll get more about that in a second. But for most people, just to even pick up a pencil these days, you got to use a pencil in these games. It's like you can't just instantly look up the everything on freaking Wikipedia or whatever. No, this is brutally retro, like 1980s style. There's also no mouse, and that was personally kind of shitty to me, because I like to drag and drop, look through my treasures and stuff, and then you got to press a bunch of key numbers and stuff to move your things around. It's just damn annoying. There was also no actual item stats, so you'll get like a longsword and a katana. Well, which one's better? It's like, well, the samurai can wear the katana, and fighters can use the longsword. It's kind of hard to tell which one's better. And then you'll get like a katana plus one. It's like, well, what is that in relation to the katana besides +1? There's no actual stats. There's nothing to compare things to, and so you kind of just get treasure and just kind of use it. Is this good? Is this worth a damn? It's like, oh well, I have a whip, but I can't use a whip in the back row, but I can use a long whip in the back row. And there's a lot of experimentation that you have to do as a player that would normally be just handled out and dealt to you, or given to you in a nice little walkthrough, or to get you started, a tutorial. None of that shit's here. No, we're just gonna throw your ass out there and get murdered. And your references to pull from is going to be your actual games you've played a long time ago. And so I've never actually played the original Wizardry more than just a little bit as a kid. I've got experience. I've beaten Wizardry 7 and 8. I've beaten Baldur's Gate, and there's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons references in here. The original Final Fantasy for NES is in a lot of ways based off of Wizardry, and I've loved Final Fantasy 1 for the NES. So like the ghouls poking you for 1 damage and paralyzing you, trying to kill you one damage at a time. Yeah, that shit's in here. And dude, I had a lot of fun with it. But really, what this game is really coming about to is almost like a math graphing simulator, because the best way I can put it is that your progress is made while making your maps for these areas out. And as you go through and you're killing the enemies, they're not, in my opinion, too particularly tough. They like wear you down. That's the way they generally work. And there's no quick saving or anything like that. And if you die in the dungeon, you have to make new characters, and then go back to get your shit. Never happened to me, kitty. Well, we had some stack up. We had the backup boys that go in there and to go out there if I needed to be rescued. I had my side team, Team B. But it's really the map that, as you're going through and you're drawing that map, and you've got the dungeon figured out, you found the next floor, you found the little puzzles and stuff that you need to do, and you have that dungeon done. That feels very good. It feels great. And it's like, so one of those things where it's like, oh well, no auto map is a feature in this game. You draw the map yourself. And if that's too rough for you, don't touch this. In fact, if you have no experience at all in first-person dungeon crawlers, your DRPG or whatever they call, don't touch this dang game. This is going to annihilate you, and it's going to laugh and be cruel about it. But there's so much retro stuff here that there's something here that's going to annoy the hell out of you. To me, I needed my damn mouse, and I would love when I got a new goodie. I kind of had to fiddle around to figure out who could use it and stuff like that, and what the hell the point of it was. And some of that stuff we still to this day do not know, because there was, at the time I started it, there wasn't like an FAQ or something to say, oh, with a unicorn horn, that just turns your character good. You go in there and you do it, and you fumble around, and you take your eaten tusk and equip it and use its power, and then you get dumber. It's like, oh wow, thanks game. But overall, I can recommend this to absolute veterans of, like, old school computer RPGs. Anyone else who does not have this experience already, I do not recommend it. You want to try something like Etrian Odyssey or something like that for 3DS before you try to tackle this bad boy. But overall, we drew them down maps. Went a little bit nuts. Kitty went going blitz nuts over the damn flip tiles and the looping maps and then drawing stuff around and messing up. But Brian's like, yo, man, I'm all in it. I got to beat this damn game. I got to outmap it. We're maptographers, okay? So beware if you enter this beast, boy. Just beware.